China has recently unveiled the world's first sixth-generation fighter jet, and this particular jet has finally made its debut flight. So videos have emerged online showing Chinese new sixth-generation fighter jet flying for the first time, with a fifth-generation J-20 Mighty Dragon fighter acting as a chase plane. This would make China the second nation in the world to fly a sixth generation. Now, that is not the only thing that China has unveiled. China unveiled the WZ-9 Define Eagle unmanned stealth drone. Now, this will be a formidable weapon for China for multiple reasons. Highly capable than most of its predecessor before it. So, this is a huge step for China, not just for the new stealth fighter, not just for the new sixth generation, not just for the new sixth generation aircraft. But with all of this news, all of this hype, it also comes as news that China unveiled the world's largest naval amphibious assault ship. Now, the capabilities of this vehicle. Now, the capabilities of the ship is unclear. The defenses are unclear. But you can clearly see, even in this video, you can clearly see that there are some visible defenses around this ship. With China's new sixth generation fighter jet, it will be able to take off from this assault ship. That's even more iconic. This is a bold step for China. This is a bold move for China to accomplish this before the United States has sent shockwave throughout the world, and especially online. Just seeing people's reaction to this, it is clear that there will be something coming out of the US very soon to match this progress made by China. Just to break it down for you, the difference between a fifth generation and a sixth generation aircraft requirements. So with the fifth generation aircraft requirements, stealth, radar of course, super cruise, maneuverability, and sensor fusion. But with the sixth generation aircraft requirement, this is where it gets even more advanced. So of course it has a stealth radar, but also IR and visuals. Range is very important. You can see the difference in these aircrafts. You know, this is the F-22 on the right. The F-35 would be a better comparison. The F-35 would be closer in comparison to a sixth generation fighter. But the F-22 is also very, very, very capable, I must admit. But with the sixth generation also takes in the importance of range, payload. Payload is essential. How much can this thing carry? So with China announcing their sixth generation fighter, understand something. It's able to carry more payload than anything before it. The range is able to extend further than anything before it. The stealth capabilities, IR and visuals, those are also more advanced than anything before it. But even more incredible, with a sixth generation aircraft requirements, it needs to be able to have manned and unmanned teaming. And that sets a precedent that these are not just fighters anymore. These are not just aircraft fighters anymore. These on their own are drones, but could be man or unmanned. And these are invisible drones through the sky. And the thing about these sixth generation is making them in such a way that they're undetectable to radar scanners, or at least close to being undetectable as possible in this modern age. These are some images, some shots that are shared online. These things have gone viral for multiple different reasons, but it showed the underbelly of the aircraft, the sixth generation fighter aircraft that is. It seriously do look more advanced than anything before it. China's been criticized for years, for decades, for copying everyone else. Well, they're not doing that anymore. They're now innovating. Oh sure, starting out they certainly copied others, and they copied them so well they improved upon others' design, and now they're implementing their own design. They're advancing way beyond that. With very little bureaucracy in the Chinese government, they're able to advance and they're able to do things that are a lot faster than any other nation on earth. What would take Japan, the UK, the US, Russia, Germany, what would take them decades can take Japan a matter of 5 years. Well, Russia is a different story because Russia has less bureaucracy. But no one is moving the same as China. Honestly, at this moment, when Europe and America catches up to a sixth generation fighter, China is probably going to be looking at a seventh generation fighter. And who's to say they're not already looking into a seventh or eighth generation fighter? While that might sound ridiculous, like it's a pirate of the sky idea, well, it's not so ridiculous when they just announced something that the US couldn't have predicted could have happened to them. I think what's even more frightening for most is that people don't fully understand what is inside of this particular sixth generation jet. The secrecy around this project, the features, how capable it is all under wraps, which makes it even more formidable. If other nations apart from China do not understand their weaponry or their systems or their new jets, this gives China a huge advantage. And let's just say, this sixth generation, it is not for exporting. This is simply for domestic use. Similar to what the US has tried to do with the F-35. And while more and more countries are developing partnerships to catch up to China, the bureaucracy that stands in the way leaves them behind. Now that it's made its debut flight, I'm guessing that they're still developing this jet to improve it in various ways. But understand, over the next 5 to 10 years, this jet will only become more and more advanced. But understand, over the next 5 to 10 years, this jet will only become more and more advanced. So I'd like to know what you think. What do you think about China's new sixth generation fighter jet? Please leave a comment below, leave a like to join our community and subscribe, and I will see you in our next video. Thank you for watching.